is routines. Routines at a transformation level. Routines at a transformation level. So what are the types of routines we have at transformation level? We have at transformation level, we can write start routine, field level routine, and then end routine, expert routine. So these are the different kinds of routines that are available, at a transformation level. So why exactly we need routines? Okay, first question, why we need routines at transformation level, and the second question, what was the sequence of routines happens, at the time of execution of the DTP. Okay, so I said we have four kind of types of routines are there at transformation level. So when coming to the DTP execution, means data loading from source into target, in what sequence these routines will get executed, that we must able we must know definitely. So first point, as a first question, why we need routines? Okay, why we need routines at a transformation level? So already when we are loading data from source into target, we are defining the mappings in the transformation, which means which column information from source needs to be passed to which column information, which column, and the target. I am already defining this information in the transformations. So if I go and open any one of the transformation here in the role details, you see the mapping from source to target is nothing but giving the information of which information from source needs to be loaded to the which column into that in the target. So already when I'm defining the mappings in the transformation, then what is the benefit of writing routines? What is the need of it? Not benefit. Okay, so when we are mapping in this way, sometimes what happens in the target, for example, let me take one sales. I have one sales DSO. So this is the transformation of my sales DSO. So in this sales DSO, what are the object target columns? I have document number, created on, material, quantity, and unit. Okay, so all the five fields whatever I have in my target are already coming from my source. Okay, now let's take a scenario where in the target I am adding a new extra column. Okay, so let's discuss about this information, and then we will do exercise assignment also on the same thing. Document number, created on, material, quantity, unit. So these are the five different information columns we have in the target ADSO. Now in this particular ADSO, I am enhancing with the extra column. What is it? Material group. Okay, material group. Or else quantity I am having here it. I need amount. Okay, amount information. So if you want to derive this kind of these two are the extra columns in my target which are not mapped from my source. In this case, how you are going to get information? Because if it is not available in source, you cannot do mapping, but you need to update the data in the target. So how you are going to update it? So by writing some logic to fill these two columns, you can update the information in the target. So where you can write this logic to fill information for these two columns. So SAP given these are the four provisions where you can write the logic, not a start routine because it's the target level. So either you can write at a field level routine or you can write it end routine. Okay, these two places you can use the to write the logic, or expert routine, which is completely a different kind of routine compared to these three. Okay, so start routine, field level routine, end routine, these three are one kind, and expert routine is a different kind. Okay, so these three comes under one particular kind of routine. So we will learn that now. So as explained now, so if you want to enhance extra columns to your DSO and to be filled with data, update using some logic, applying some logic, then you need a requirement to write some routines. And what are the other requirements where you need to write some routines? So when data coming from source, nowadays what happened, everything is field based, correct? So field based ADS was we are creating. So when for example, this is, let's say this is the source. No, let's talk about this is the target provider. Okay, now let me take this one and copy here. Open. Copy. Paste target. Okay. This is a source. In the source, for example, you are getting what happens in the source, you are getting material M1. So when you're getting M1 material, the same will be loaded into the target also using one-to-one mapping. But when you got number like 1, okay, so when you are loading this 1 into target, you want to load this information with alpha conversion. What is alpha conversion? For example, the material is of length 18. In this case, what happen is, what is alpha conversion means, the one value which is coming from source, you don't want to load as it is into your target. You want to convert into alpha conversion. It means 18 digits you want to make it. It means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the 5 digits. 5 and then 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. So this is nothing but alpha conversion. Means whatever the value coming from source, you are converting then into the proper length. Okay, so the for strings the alpha conversion won't happen, but for the numeric numbers we can perform the alpha conversion. So if you have this kind of scenario, by assigning info objects it will take care, but when you go for field based modeling and you want to make sure that whatever data coming from source you want to convert, round it to the proper number of digits, then you must use the alpha conversion kind of some of the functionalities. So to write that kind of logic, we are going to use write some routines. So these routines also we use this kind of functionalities to write those routines. And what was the other benefit? So the first one is to derive some extra fields in the target. The second one is to manipulate the data. Okay. And the third one, what was the third one? So for example, when you are loading data into target. So for example, in the source, you have materials like M1, M2, something like this, M10 materials are there. So when you are loading this information into target, so you don't want to load some of the data. So some of the data means I am not picking which materials I don't want to load. For example, if I say I don't want to load M7 and M8 materials into my target. So if this is your scenario, simply what you can do, you can apply the DTP filter with the not equal to M1, M7, M8, then automatically other materials only will move into the target. But if you are giving a restriction based upon some material group which is not available here in the source, there is no material group, but you are saying I don't want to load data of type material group MG1. Okay, then how you can apply this kind of functionality here? Here on the source side you don't have material group information, so you cannot apply at DTP level. On the target also we don't have material, we have material group, but if you want to remove the data, first of all you have to derive the material group from the source, for source records, and then you need to apply it. Correct? So means there need to be some logic needed, to filter out the data when loading from source to target. So where you can write this kind of logic in the start routine, we can write this kind of filtration kind of things we can do at the start routine. Okay, for this also we use routines. So like this, many other cases, many other, like wherever you need customization, wherever you want some logic to be applied on your data set, where and all, we can write routines at transformation level. So that's all about the back end of the transformation. Now let's see how we can write the routines. So in order to explain this, I taken two DSOs. I have one DSO. Let me close all this. Close all. Okay, so I have a DSO SR underscore sales too, because I am in BW4 HANA directly. SR underscore sales to is a ADSO, and if I want to see data, what I can do from here, I can go to manage data store object option. But you see, when I go to manage, it is asking to open on either browser. It means it is not taking me into the proper GUI screen. So we can do this kind of manager from here. Okay, but I don't want to do this one from browser. I want to do it from the backend. So if you want to perform this manage from the backend, we have a T code called RSMNG. Okay, if you go to RSMNG and provide your ADS1 name here, sales underscore sales 2, and click on execute button, whatever kind of screen you see in RSMNG, manage, same kind of screen you can see for the ADSO. Okay, now I want to see what is my data here. I'm going to active data, execute. So I have these many records. So this is a list display. I don't like list display. I'm changing into ALV grid display. These are the 11 records I have where my material is M1. So all the data whatever I have is M1 only. I don't like this one too. Then let me change my data to a different values here. Okay, open with. I'm changing with Notepad. So I want some with M2. M3, M4, M5, M6, M1. Okay, let it be M7, M3, M4, M10. Okay, so I taken different materials here, saving this one. I'm trying to load again this file into this one. So I will go to the DTP of this particular ADSO. So let me refresh this. You can see DTP now. I will go to DTP. I will reload the same file. So what happened then? Data will be overwritten in my target. Execute. Okay. Now if I go to GUI and try to refresh my data set, now I have different materials. Okay. So now what is my requirement? I have one ADSO. In this ADSO, I have data of different materials and multiple document numbers. Now I want to load this data set into a different ADSO. And while loading data into different ADSO, I want to enhance this particular structure into two more columns called either material group and description. Okay, I want to enhance this data set with two more extra columns. Why it is not coming snipping tool. Okay, sorry. Okay, fine. It is not coming. So what I'm going to do now, so I have another DSO. So I will take one more screen, RSMNG. Along with me, I have another DSO called MD underscore matter. Generally, master data we load to info object, but in my case, I loaded this into ADSO just for my convenience. Okay, it's up to each project requirement we have differently, right? So I am opening MD matter. One ADSO is there. So in this MD matter, I have 10 records. So if I go to the active data, okay, I have 10 materials are there. In this 10 materials, I have the corresponding description and the material type and material group. Okay, so now when I am loading, so what is my requirement? I have a data in one of the ADSO. I want to load this data into another target, and while loading the star into another target, I want to enhance the structure with the three more columns. Let's say material description, material type, and material group. So when I enhance these extra three columns, so since the data is not available in source, I need to write logic to update the code. So we are going to write it. So let's take this example scenario one more time here, understand, then we will start with this. Because in this particular example, we are going to learn start routine, field level routine and end routine also. Start routine, field level and end routine. So these three we are going to learn in this example. So in my source, I have a structure like this, document number created on material quantity unit. And in my target, I am going to enhance with the material group, not material. I am going to enhance with the description and material type and material group. Okay, so I'm going to create one ADS for now. So right click on here, create new, add ADS form. So SR underscore sales 3 is my ADS form. So I'm taking a template from this one, SR underscore sales 2, and then I will enhance this structure with the 3 more columns. So I'm going to detail section. Here you see already some data is there. Now I'm adding some extra fields here. Add field. What was the field name? So I'm going to add a description of type length 40. Let's take 140, and another field material type of length 3. So generally I'm not supposed to give my own length here because I am performing lookup of these fields. This functionality we can call it as a lookup also. Okay, so since I am bringing this information from another provider, okay, I need to go to that provider and see what was the length of it. Okay, so if I go to my material master data, MD Matner, and go to the, okay, 1 second, display active data, execute. So this is my table name /BIC/AMD Matner, right? So go to S11 or simply go to here and open this MD Matner. In the MD Matner, in the details, you can see the material type. So we defined material type of length 3 and group 4. Similarly, same length I am supposed to give here also. Material type char 3 and one more field, material group char 4. Okay, so because I'm going to bring data from a different provider and store it here, so the data types and length must be equal to make sure data will come properly. So I enhanced my structure with extra columns and I am activating it. So where is the sales 3 error? So what is the error? Result. Okay, DESC is a result keyword, so it is not accepting. MET underscore DESC. So now system activated this ADS, so it will come soon here. SR underscore sales 3. Okay. Now I'm going to create a transformation for this one from another ADS for SR underscore sales 2. Click on finish. So go to rules. For whichever field technical names are mapping, I'm already matching between source and target, system will perform one-to-one mapping. Okay. But for the ones which are not mapped here, material description type group, these are not available here. Since these are not available, you cannot perform anything. Okay. So at this point of time, just click on activate button. Okay, so activated. So next, so when we are loading data from source to target, so what is my source data? This is my source data. I don't want to load all my data into target. I want to filter out this data. Okay, I don't want to load data of material type let's take MT2 material 7. So yeah, 7 is there. So out of this data set, I don't want to load data of material type MT2. Okay. So what is MT2? So here if you go to the material master data in here under material type, MT2 means this is 10 to 7. These 3 materials comes under material type 2. So 3, 5, 7. These 3 records I don't want to load. Since material type is not available here, you cannot keep filter on your DTP. So you need to write that logic somewhere in the transformation. Okay, so first let me create a DTP for this one, then we go for it. If I execute the DTP, all data from my source from sales to will be loaded to target, but I don't want to load all data. I want to filter out, exclude the data of type material 2, type 2. So activating. So where I can write this logic, let me close all, go to transformation. So when in the transformation between the sales 2 and sales 3, if you go to the general tab, in the general tab there is an option where we can write these routines. You see on the general tab you can see global routines, start routine, end routine and expert routine. Okay, so if there is a case where you want to filter out the data when loading from source to target using some custom logic, then you need to write such kind of code on the start routine. Okay, filtering out the data from source to target, if you wish to write some custom logic, the best place is the start routine. Okay, because it's an interview question, you need to remember that one. So I am clicking on this create button next to the start routine and clicking on edit routine. Generally, it should ask, whether I would like to go to AMDP or ABAP. Oh my God, it is not asking me to. It is giving me AMDP. Just a second. Why it is not asking for ABAP? 1 minute. Let me delete this one. Click on S. I deleted the routine. Now let me switch runtime. Okay, so I switched the runtime to ABAP. Earlier it is HANA. Now I switch it to ABAP. Whenever it is a ABAP runtime, then whatever routines I am creating, those will goes to the ABAP routines, not AMDP anymore. AMDP means it will go to this, yeah. You see now the type of code what I got. It is nothing but a simple BW on HANA ABAP related code I can write. Earlier screen we got it, that is AMDP screen. We will learn that one also. Okay, so now I am in a screen where I can write my start routine. So how to know whether it is start routine or end routine? So somewhere here it will be mentioned. Okay, so global start, you see method global start, which represents the start routine. Okay, so when we are learning about these routines now, we must learn few things here. Okay, when we are learning about start routine, so let's discuss what is about start routine. I already mentioned why we use start routine. Now we are going to learn some key points at the time of writing the logic. Okay, so when data are moving from source into target, the first step will be the start routine, and then the data. For example, let me go here to explain in detail. I have a record called 1001 created on 2022 0101, let's say M1 quantity 100 ST. Let's say this record. So when you execute the DTP, data transfer process, what happened? For this transformation, there will be a program created in the backend. For every transformation, whatever you're creating, there will be a backend program, okay, will be created. So, one second here, okay, because I am in routine, I cannot show that one. So whenever you execute this DTP, the DTP will execute that program. Okay, so what is the code that is written in the program? SAP defines the program code based upon your mappings from source to target. So wherever you written end one-to-one mapping, system will provide one-to-one mapping kind of a logic there, and whatever logics you written start out and written, everything will be there in this program. Whenever you execute the DTP will run the program in order to bring data from source into your target. So when bringing the source into target in this program, the first logic it will trigger is the start routine. Okay, and then the second logic it will hits is the field level routine. Okay, and the last logic it executes is the end routine. Okay, in this sequence the system executes the routines in your transformation. Okay, so when coming to the first logic start routine, in the start routine whatever data you are trying to load, there will be an internal table. SAP given one internal table in the start routine. So we call it as a source underscore package. Source underscore package is one of the internal table available in the start routine. So if I go to here my ABAP code, if I scroll a little bit up, you can see that one. Where is source? You see source underscore package. Okay, this was the internal table. So what happens? What is this internal table? This source underscore package is an internal table of structure. This is important. So if each and every table is having some structure, right? So this source underscore package is an internal table of structure source. It means in my example, my source contains how many columns? It contains 5 columns. It means my source package is a structure with 5 columns. Okay. Similarly, when comes to end routine, in the end routine also SAP given one internal table called result underscore package. Okay. So this result underscore package is of structure of target. It means, so my target is this one. So my target contains how many columns? Total 8 columns. So my target result package also contains 8 columns. There will be some system default columns will be there, but we don't talk about that one in this scenario. Okay, but as a conceptual wise, if you want to understand, source package is the internal table available only in the start routine, and the structure of the source package is your source structure, source target provider, whatever it is. In the end routine, you have a result package, and which is of structure, target structure. Okay, where you are trying to load the data. Okay, in between you have a field level routine. Okay, so here in start routine, I am telling the source package is a table. In end routine also, I am telling result package is a table. Okay, and this in the source package, what happens? Whatever data you are trying to load from the source. For example, in our scenario, our source is this particular sales to ADSO. Here we have 11 records. So what happens? All these 11 records will be stored in this source package internal table. Because it is an internal table, it stores multiple records. So 11 records will be there. Similarly, when this data comes into the target, so if successfully all the records come to the target, my result package also contains 11 records because it is also an internal table. But in the field level routine, here we don't have any table, but here we have a structure. Okay, result fields. The field level routine, SAP given one structure which contains only single record, source fields, the structure name, and this source fields is a structure of type target, not source. Okay, na? This is important. Source fields is of type target. It means this also contains 11 columns. Okay, but this 11 columns, but this is a structure. It means it always hold only one record at a time. Okay, that is the difference between the start routine, end routine, and the field level routine. Okay, so accordingly, based upon your requirement and logic, we will implement our logics here. So when coming to the start routine, what I said, we have a source package table. In the source package table, whatever data coming from source will be applied. In the DTP, if you are applying some filter, so after filtering the data, the output will be available in the source package. Now this source package, you can manipulate whatever you want. Because it's an internal table, you can perform any operation on top of this internal table to update this source package. You can add records, you can delete records, you can update some columns, you can delete information some columns, anything you can do on this internal table. At the end, whatever source package data is available at the end of your start routine, the same data will be moved into the target. Okay, so now I'm going back to my code. I am in start routine. So we must write the code in between these comments to make sure, to make our life easy. SAP always provides comments here. You see, begin of routine, end of routine. So in between these two lines only, we must write your code here. It is clearly telling insert your code here. Okay, so I need to write my code. So what kind of code I am going to write? As I said, I don't want to load data of type material MT2 into my target, but MT2 is available in my source? No. So first of all, I need to derive the material type from the materials. Okay, so for that I am going to write some code now. So how to implement this code? So let's first theoretically understand this in a paper, then we go and write the code. So in my source, I have material information. I don't have material type information. And where I have material type information is available in one of the ADSO MD underscore sales 2, MD underscore material. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to bring data from this MD material for the material information available here. And then based upon from data available in this MD material table, I need to filter out the records here. So it will be a little bit complex only, but yeah, as we need to learn these routines, we must. So first thing is I need to define an internal table of type MD material. So where MD material is the ADSO. So SAP given gives multiple tables. It creates multiple tables for each and every ADSO. So if I go to S11 and star MD underscore material star F4. 1 second, I given name Matner, not material, Matner here. Matner. So when we creating this ADS4, SAP created three tables. One is inbound table, active table, changelog table. So in order to get the material master information from the active table, because it is a standard ADS4, data will be available in the active table. So I need to read data from the active table. So this is the technical name of active table. For ADS4's active table, here in the slash basis slash a means active table, and 2 also represents the number of the table. For active it is 2, for inbound it is 1, and for the changelog it is 3. So I am going to read data from this table. So first of all, in order to read data from a table, I need to define the structure, right? So LT, you can use the inline declaration also here, or you can use this normal coding. LT means local table, LT underscore MD underscore Matner type of standard table of I'm defining with my table name. Similarly, I need a work area, so I'm creating work area also. Here when creating work area, I always use like line of which represents a structure kind of my internal table. Easy to represent and easy to remember. Okay, so internal table work area is created. Now I need to what I need to write? I need to write a select statement. Select star from where from my material master table into, so where I need to write this into table LT underscore MD underscore Matner. Okay, here I am using for all entries in, because in my material master data I may have millions of records. I don't want to bring all millions of records into my internal table. I want to bring materials which are only the materials which are coming from my source. That's why I am referring to for all entries in source package. Okay, where in this particular material the what was the key of this table? Material. So where material is equal to source package. In my source also I have a column called material. Okay, if I written code in this way, what happens? System don't bring all the 1 million records from this material master data to ADSO. It brings only the records which materials which are matching with the source data. It means if my source data contains only 2 materials, it will bring only 2 materials from this table. That's why it is important for writing for all entries in. And always remember, you are not supposed to write this logic directly in the start routine before prefixing some conditions. When exactly you want to write this logic? If your source data source package means from you, if your source contains some data and it's coming to target, then only you are going to this write select statement. And when we are learning this for all entries in also, we learned about one thing. What is it? Precaution. Whenever you are using for all entries in on any of the internal table, check first this internal table is containing data or not. Okay. So if source underscore package is not initial, this is important. So first check whether your source package is not null. If it is not null, then only execute this select statement. Okay. What exactly it means? If you are loading some data from the source, if your source contains, if it is ready to have, it is having some data, then only implement this logic. If source itself is not having any data, then definitely it won't call start routine. So better do these checks. Right click, format. There will be some option for formatting here. Source code format. Okay, you can use the pretty printer in this way. In the ABAP screens we have pretty printer, but here we don't have direct option, I think. So we need to do pretty printer in this way. So I first checked my source package is not initial, and then I written my select select statement with the for all entries in on source package. So now I have my master data available in my internal table. So next what I'm going to do? So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop my source package, because I want to know each, I want to go through each record in my source package. assigning result underscore fields and sorry, not source, not result, source. So source underscore fields is a field symbol, but I didn't define this field symbol because SAP gives one field symbol also by default at the time of creating your start routine. Okay, I can reuse that. So why I'm doing not end if, it's end loop. So why I'm doing this loop? By doing the loop to my internal table source package, I will check each and every record whether it is of material type MT2 or not. If it is of material type MT2, I am deleting that record. Okay, how I am going to delete that record? Instead of deleting that record, you can do one thing. What you can do? Let's create another internal table LT underscore source package. Okay, source package type standard table of. So source package is always of type, if you scroll a little bit up in your start routine, there you can see some standard code written by SAP. What exactly this code is? Nothing but the starting of the code, you will have one structure defined in the format of your source provider. You see, document number created on material quantity unit and record. These two, record and record mode, are the system fields, but remaining are the fields from our source. So SAP created one structure. So copy the structure name. And on top of the structure, SAP created one source package internal table. Here internal table like this. So now when I'm going to create an internal table of type source structure, so I can use this structure name. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm doing a check here by using if condition. I'm looping to my source data, and in the source data I'm going to write on read statement, read table lt underscore md underscore matner into ls underscore md underscore matner with the key material is equal to source. We already learned about ABAP, all these things, so we know what I'm writing. Source fields material. Okay, if size sub rc equal to 0 and if. So what exactly I did now? So what exactly I did? So when I'm looping to my internal table, I know, in the each record I am going to process. So for each record in my source package, I am reading one of the, internal table LD Matner, where it contains all the material master data information. I am reading this table, and for the material that is coming from my each record. So now in this work area, I am checking if ls underscore md underscore matner underscore material type, right? So material type is available under type. Okay, type is equal to empty. No, sorry, type 2, right? What I said, type 2. I don't want to bring. So if it is of type M2, then don't do anything else. If it is not of type M2, then I am going to append my record of my source package record, which is there in the append to. I need one work area also of type this one, ls underscore source, or else I don't need work area. I think, one second, I don't need work area. I can directly write this to append information to lt underscore source underscore package, and write one and if. That's it. Okay, so what I'm doing, for each record coming from my source, I am checking the material type using this material master data, and if it is of type material 2, I am not doing anything. But if it is not of type material 2, then I am appending that record into one of the internal table. So at the end of this loop, my internal table contains, LT source package internal table contains only the records which are not of type material type MT2. Okay, now simply what I'm going to do, I'm going to refresh my source package. Refresh is a keyword which is used to delete the data from the internal table. Refresh the source package and assign source underscore package. This anchor brackets represents the internal table functionality is equal to lt underscore source underscore package. So you are assigning all the records from LT source package into your source package. First you are deleting the data in the source package and then updating again with the data in the LT source package. Now because LT source package contains the records which are not of type MT2. Okay. So in this way we are done with our code of start routine. Now activate this one. So start routine got activated. Okay. Now I am closing the start routine. Whenever you close, system will take some time to process this. Now you can see in the start routine in the BW4 HANA, if you go to the general tab and if you see some edit option like this, it means they implemented some start routine. Okay, if the ones which are not implemented, you can see create symbol. If create is there, then nothing they implemented. But if edit is there, they implemented some logic in this routine. Okay. Next, so let's try to load data into our target and see whether it is working as expected or not. So I'm executing the DTP. We still not written any logic, to update the newly enhanced fields. But just to check whether start routine working correctly or not, I'm executing my DTP. So I executed the DTP. So now let's go to the back end. RSMNG SR underscore sales 3 is my ADS4. You see 11 records came here. Utilities, display new data, execute. I got all the records, right? I am not supposed to get records of type. What is of type? 2, 7, 10. I am not expecting in the data set, but I got 2, 7, 10 also into the target. So something wrong in my routine. Okay. Start routine. Yep, I activated and I executed the TTP of this one. Let's go to the general tab of my transformation in the edit start routine. So what I did here, there is something wrong. So I checked source package is not initial and then we are reading from the active table of my material using material here and then looping to source package, read table, if size above is 0, if it is of type material MT2. So am I checking correctly with MT2? MT2. If it is MT2 then I am not doing, else I am appending source fields to the source package. So it is correct only. Just a second. So now while activating this particular start routine, we got an error message. What happened when I take in the structure information of this LT source package? What happened? I went to the top and I directly copied from here. Actually, because this is types, but not this one. You need to take this one ty underscore t underscore s no not t. This structure you need to use ty underscore s underscore sc underscore 1, not this double one underscore underscore 1. Okay. So because of that one, I have some issue in the start routine and it was not activated successfully. So now I corrected it. Now I am activating my routine. Okay. So now after activation, I am closing this one. Now it went to the transformation. Now activating, you see my revised version is there. Currently my transformation is revised version. I am activating my transformation again. In the meantime, what I will do, whatever data I loaded into my target, I will delete that information. So what I am going to do, I am going to my RSMNG slash NRSMNG. I am going to my ADS4 execute button. So this is my manager of this one. So I am deleting this request. Delete this request. because start routine was not applied properly. So I don't have any records now. So now I'm going to HANA Studio. You see my transformation is in active version. Now I'm executing the corresponding DTP. So I'm opening the DTP, which is in inactive state. I can see red color. Activating this. Now I'm executing the DTP. Execute and open process monitor. So yeah, monitor I don't want, sorry. So now I go to RSMNG, refresh here. You see 8 records came. You see earlier 11 records came, now 8 records only came. Now if I go to the new data, execute, you see the M2, 7 and 10 records not came here because those got deleted. Okay, so this is how to write the start routine. So now quickly cover this field level routine also in some time. Let me go to transformation again. So simple to write a field level routine. Okay, in BW4 HANA, since you changed this particular runtime to ABAP runtime, it is allowing you to write the ABAP routine here. If it is in HANA, you need to write the in AMDP. Tomorrow we are going to learn AMDP. Okay, so since we already learned the start routine, we are going to learn our field level routine. So when you are writing field level routine, for example, let's say description. So in general, when we go for field level routine to write some, after that, you do one-to-one mapping here to here, and you want to do something. For example, what I'm going to do now, the description is not there. Okay. Uh, in old say yeah, in general, so in field level routine also we can write some logic, okay, to the, as I said, field level routine is a, so each record wise, okay, not table wise. For each record the field level routine will be get executed. Okay, so for one of the field, for example material description, I want to update this information in the field level routine. So where exactly I can get the material description information, what to be written here, I need to get it from the material master only. So material master means I need to check the description of the material coming in the particular record and update here. Okay, so what we do sometimes, what people do is since if they need only one particular record here, they will write select single. So on the material description logic, they will write select single on the material master data to get the required information here. Or another way of writing is in the start routine. In the start routine, we already brought all the data of materials coming into my target into one internal table. So I can reuse that internal table in my field level routine to fill the data. But in order to do so, in the start routine, if I go here, in the start routine, I defined one internal table. In this internal table, I already bring the required material master information as part of start routine. So if you wish to reuse this information in the field level routine, you must do one thing. What is that one? You must define your, this particular internal table in the global part. In the start routine, this is local. Whatever code you are writing in between begin of routine, end of routine, it is local to this routine only. Out of this routine, no one knows, this internal table and work area. But if you write your definition in the global part, there are two global parts here. Create public. Where is the global? You see global area for coding. Okay. So in the global section, you can write your declaration. Okay, shift F1 for pretty printer. Okay, global area coding is only taken over, saved in the runtime into ABAP. Begin of global area. Private section. This is private section. One more public section will be there here. But let's see. Check. Activate this one. Close. Activate your transformation also to make sure you are in correctly written everything. So if transformation is activated successfully, you can say everything fine. Now go to the role details. Now go to the material description. In the material description, map material to the material description initially. do this mapping. It's not correct. You are mapping material to material description, which is not correct. But in order to derive the material description information from material data, material show rule, material master data information, you need material information. That's why I did a mapping. In the show rule, if you go to this here, type, instead of here, I am writing here a routine. So when you say routine, here you have got an option routine edit. Go to edit here, save and open. So now you see you got a information like this. So what we are going to do, so in this particular one, if you go a little bit up, this is the one, where is material information, target field. Target field, material description. So you are going to use this one, and I'm missing something, just a second. Close this one. Source fields, material I am using. Going to edit. In the edit, just a second. Okay, so this is the code what we need to write in the field routine. So what exactly I written here? So if you see what is happening here, I created the field level routine. So it went to the screen here in between this begin of routine, end of routine. I must write my code. So if I go to we can remove this insert your code statement here, not required. Okay, so I've written a read statement because in the start routine we are already filling one internal table with all the material master data information. So I am reading this material master data internal table into work area with key on material. So what is this material? Source fields underscore material. What exactly the source fields underscore material? At the time of creating this field level routine, I did a mapping from the source fields. You see, source fields is a section where the source fields are mapped to the target field material description. So I can use in order to call this material in my ABAP code, I need to use the syntax called source fields underscore material. So what will happen in that particular record, whatever material is available, that material information is available under the source fields. Okay, by passing this into our internal table, I am getting the description of the into my internal table work area. So from this work area, by calling the column called description, I am assigning it to result. Okay, in source package, in a start routine, data will be available in the source package. In the field level routine, all the data will be available in the structure. So what was the structure? The structure name is nothing but result source fields, whichever field you are doing, and the output, because you are assigning now data to a single column. So since you are assigning to a single column, that column is called as result. Okay, we call it as a result. You see, this is the method which is created for your field level routine. And the target field, this result is nothing but your target field material description. So you are assigning this material description from the work area into your target column. Okay, I am activating my start routine, sorry, my field routine, closing, and then coming back here. Currently my transformation is in revised version. I am activating here also. So it is in revised still. So once activation completed, it will come to the active version. So it came to active version. What I will do, I will delete the request from my target, and I will try to reload the data to see it's working fine or not. So debugging, how to do the debugging here, I will show you tomorrow. Now I am going to execute the DTP one more time. So open the DTP. It is in inactive. Activate the DTP and execute this one. Execute. So executed. Now go to RSMNG to see the request. So 8 records came. Now go to new data to see the description information. You see description got updated here. So this is how to write the field level routine. Okay, so if you write via failover routine also, we can fill the data into the target column, because failover routines we write for the target. Now end routine is pending. In tomorrow session we will learn end routine and how to debug the start routine, failover routine, end routine also we will see, and AMDP also will be covered tomorrow. Okay, na? I'm stopping recording.